Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Enjoy a refreshing jump shot to the taste buds and icy cold Coke Zero. Fresh from Florida Gulf Seafood, proud sponsor of the Florida State Seminoles. And visit Tallahassee, where it all comes together beautifully.
Hello everyone, welcome to Seminole Sports Magazine, Florida State Athletics in 2012. Believe it or not, roll the calendar over. This is our first show of 2012. Glad to be bringing you that as the Champs Bowl champions. Florida State having beaten Notre Dame, of course. Don't think many people miss that. The stands were packed. The TV ratings were huge. You're going to hear a little bit about that in just a moment. We've got a nice lengthy interview with our Director of Athletics, Randy Spetman, who will sort of talk about the great progress the program has made over the last couple of years, the wonderful fall we've already had, and then highlights what's coming up in the spring. We've also got a feature coming up with our swimmers and divers and their aspirations as Olympians. And of course, we'll update you on all the Florida State activities each and every week. We'll be right back here on Seminole Sports Magazine.
Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by AT&T.
Welcome to our first couple of segments, and I am interviewing somebody that really needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. Randy Spetman, our Director of Athletics. Glad to have you here. He's wearing a big smile, as are all Florida State fans. We'll get to the bowl game, sort of what's going to happen in the spring, a little bit of an outlook at the spring in our second segment. Of our first segment, we're going to look back, and let's start with a couple of years ago, our climb in the Director's Cup. And as the fans who don't know at home, the Director's Cup is a measure of the overall success of an athletics program. We're a little bit handicapped in terms of some of the programs have so many sports you can pick and choose which of the sports you can count. We count all our sports, so any team that doesn't perform well really costs you. Those that do perform well obviously help you a lot, but it has been startling what we've done in the last couple of years.
It has, Rob. It's incredible. You know, we've been in the top 10 the last 2 years, the only university in the nation to have a 2-year run at that, with all of our 19 sports going to the NCAA tournament, and ended up as high as 5th. And right now we're currently in 5th place also, which is after the fall, which is incredible. We're only 10 points out of first place. We got to hang on. A little encouraging to our spring sports and what they're going to do in that regard. But a great fall for us, and very proud of all our teams.
Well, it speaks really to the leadership, and you've got coaches at those programs that have done a phenomenal job, and they've done, you know, we'll take soccer first. Soccer makes it to the College Cup. You've seen what Mark Krikorin has done. This is a sport that a lot of us remember. We started on the old intramural fields out by Tully Gym, where literally no grass on the field, and never even had women's soccer at Florida State. To progress from that point to a team that's perennially in the NCAA tournament, perennially a College Cup team. What he did this year, it's a team that struggles some this year. Right. Last year he had terrible injuries at key positions that really cost him. This year we struggled at times. It was not this rose path that he ran down to the College Cup. They did a phenomenal job.
They really did, and you know, they went into the College Cup, and what's incredible is, you know, and we find out with both volleyball and soccer is they got beat on their way to the championship, but they got beat by the eventual champion. So to me, when you get beat by the champion, it says you're right at that level, and what Mark has done and continues to do with our program, and we're looking very forward to next year, encouraged with our recruiting and some of the athletes coming back in that regard. So I think we're going to be right in the mix as we go into spring and into fall. So Mark Krikorin is doing an incredible job.
Well, we need, and looking at Mark and continue to look at soccer, to get anywhere in soccer, you got to get through that ACC, which is ridiculous. What a minefield that is. You've got one program in North Carolina that's won a gazillion national championships. Had never lost an ACC tournament match until Florida State did that. We beat North Carolina in the ACC tournament. They had some ties where they lost the tiebreaker, but they had never lost in regulations. We beat them this year, and we go on to the College Cup, obviously. And he did that with a team that at the midway point, you almost look like, were we playing the wrong kind of soccer? But he stuck to his guns, and the talent of the girls and the caliber of student athlete we getting that program is remarkable.
Well, he's a master, of having them to develop at the right time, and when they're playing their best soccer is at the end of the year when it's all done. And he does a great job of monitoring their physical fitness, so he makes sure, soccer can wear you out during the course of that year. And he did a great job. We were at our finest when we were playing in the ACC championship and then on to the NCAA tournament. So congratulations to the ladies and what they did. They also have a 3.4 grade point average, which is incredible.
Just going to say that. I'm glad you mentioned that about how he did maintain that team, because there's a lot that goes into the physical conditioning there. Doesn't hurt him either that he has a wonderful facility and a great university to recruit to, and he's as appreciative of that as is anyone. And then we got off the College Cup with soccer, wonder about how our volleyball program's going to do, and he has a phenomenal year as well.
Yeah, Chris Poole did incredible. We knew we had some real strengths. We brought in some young recruits that we thought we needed a libero, we needed a setter, and Chris found those people, those right people to get it started. A little, again, at the start of the year, the inner workings of them was a little bit hesitant, but they just got better and better and better. Went on and won the ACC championship, and then went on to the tournament. We hosted the second round here, which was a lot of fun for our fans here, and then make it to San Antonio. It was a great affair at San Antonio, and once again, a great outing by our ladies. We got beat by the best that ended up winning, UCLA, and it was a great match. They were in it, and I'm very proud of what they've accomplished. And again, what Chris Poole and Holly and all of them have done is just really phenomenal.
Yeah, and again, Final Four for the volleyball program, the only volleyball program in ACC history that has made it to the Final Four for Florida State. And again, a tremendously bright future. A lot going on in terms of the popularity of the program with high school recruits and whatnot. And not to be outdone then, we send our cross-country program to the national, it won the ACC. We send them to the national championship meet, got a chance to win the national championship, had a little bit of bad luck on a cold, rainy day, but they finished in the top four as well.
I was there. It was Indiana State. It was a cold, rainy day. It seems to always be that way. I don't understand why they have it in Indiana that time of year. But Kieran Harvey did an incredible job, Coach of the Year, and the ladies ran phenomenal. Weren't just slightly out of coming in the top. Ended up the number 4 in the nation, and so a great compliment to her. Last year we were second in the nation, and we'll be back in there again. She's, again, a coach that has done a great job recruiting, and we're very excited about the next year and as they go forward.
Been a tremendous fall. We're going to take a break right now, take a look at what happened in the bowl game from the athletic director's perspective, kind of look at what's happening in the spring, assess where we are, and talk about the fine academic semester we had as well. All that and more coming right up.
Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by AT&T.
Back again on Seminole Sports Magazine, joined by Randy Spettman, our Director of Athletics. We talked about the top 4 finishes in the fall sports. Tremendous effort there. We didn't talk yet about the great academic progress as well. We've had tremendous academic progress over the last 3 years. Have done very, very well. You trot out for your bowl game, a football team that has a bunch of college graduates on it already, including quarterback E.J. Manuel, and I know that makes you happy.
It does. That's what it's all about. Number one goal here is to get them a great education across all of our sports, and we have a great compliment from our professors across this campus that support us and help us do that. It wouldn't be possible. And our student athletes have worked hard to really make this university number 1 in the nation.
Well, E.J. Manuel leads the team to the huge win over Notre Dame. I know you sent out a letter congratulating our fans, and it really doesn't go unappreciated within the athletic department in the university. What has happened in terms of 30 straight bowl games? We're the only school in the country that's had the privilege of going to 30 straight bowl games, but that's also a burden in a sense on our fans. It's expensive to go to those games. Yeah. That crowd, Chick-fil-A Bowl last year, phenomenal crowd, mostly Florida State fans. Biggest crowd in the history of the bowl game, this last bowl game, and just a great turnout.
It was, and I'm very proud that we got to go to the Champs Bowl. It's a great, in Orlando, it's a great location for our fans. We can get there, we can drive in. There's a lot of other entertainment along with a great football game. Steve Hogan, who is the executive director of the Champs Bowl does an incredible job year in and year out, and we feel very honored to be there. And then, like you say, Rob, our fans showing up in great masses. It was a home field for us, and a lot of fun that day. And our guys responded in that. We were down for a while, as you know, and we struggled hard. But when you have the home team behind you and all those fans and yelling and screaming, it makes sure you get to the success of where we wanted to be. And that just propels us into the next year with recruiting, where our programs are going to go. And I really compliment our fans. And all year long here in Doak Campbell Stadium, you know, we've set new attendance records in that with the Oklahoma game and across the whole season. So very proud of them. We need to continue. We need to be a sellout every game here in Doak Campbell Stadium, and we really appreciate everybody's help to make sure that happens next year.
And you can get your tickets right now on Seminoles.com or 1-888-FSU-NOLA for 2012 and spread those ticket payments off and make it easy on yourself. Yeah. And it makes a great gift for Florida State fans. We talked about the win over Notre Dame. That was just huge. Sets us up very, very well for next year. Lots of great things happening in the spring sports. We're in the middle of the swimming and diving competition. You got golf and tennis and track and everything else right on the horizon. And a brand new sport, sand volleyball, which we brought to campus. It'll be women only playing sand volleyball. The court has been built over by the Mike Long track, sort of between there and the med school, and I know it's going to be a fan favorite.
It is. There's 5 courts there. It is going to be a fan favorite. A lot of exciting activity there. Dana Lee Corso, our coach, is an incredible young woman that has recruited the best in the nation, and we're looking forward to hosting some meets here, and then getting on for the national championship. It's going to be hosted down in southern Florida later in the year, and we hope to be the contender to win the first championship in that.
Yeah, baseball's around the corner, softball's around the corner. You'll be at most every game. He does a great job of attending all those things. Makes it a pleasure to watch all our very, very successful teams. We mentioned all teams made it to the NCAA tournament last year. Just a remarkable season last year. Hope to even top it this year. We're on our way to that, and that's a tall order, as you might imagine. We talked about the bowl game. Florida State and Notre Dame, not only was it a full stadium, huge TV rating for that ball game. It almost doubled their usual rating. Highest rated bowl to this point in the season of all the bowl games. We're taping this before the BCS bowls are played, but a great TV environment, and that gives us strength when it comes to the bargaining table, I know.
It does. It's great for the conference, and the Atlantic Coast Conference needs a great program like Florida State in it, a football program to show where we are and where we're going.
And before we leave it, both basketball teams in the middle of a season, we've dressed up the Tucker Center. There's new banners that are in there, so if you go to any games starting about mid-January on, you'll see kind of a revitalized ceiling in the Civic Center. And the basketball team's struggling right now, but still got a chance to close out strong.
We're doing well, and both Leonard Hamilton and Sue Cimarral know what it takes. And early in the year is where you're looking to put the program together. It's where you go down the course from here on out in conference play, and in the NCAA tournament is where we need to have it going. The wins early are fun and important, but what they're doing now is getting ready for a great conference season.
Yeah, ACC play right around the corner. Remember, we are hosting the NCAA first and second rounds for the women's basketball tournament. You can get tickets now. We hope you'll support the program and the NCAA in that respect. Thanks for your time. We're looking forward to another great semester. It just seems to get better and better and better.
It does, and go Noles.
All right, we'll be right back after these messages.
Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by AT&T. Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by AT&T.
We're joined by Leo Rodriguez of the women's basketball team today. Leo, you ready to get going?
Yes.
How many hours of sleep did you get last night?
8.
How many text messages on average do you send a day?
10.
Really? Only 10?
I don't know.
Okay. Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Why Facebook?
Because my more friends has Facebook and Twitter.
What was the hardest thing about moving to America from Spain?
The family away.
What do you miss most about Spain?
Family and food.
Yeah, what's the food like over there?
Homemade.
What do you hope to accomplish this season with women's basketball?
Help the team to go as far as we wish.
Who's the funniest player in the women's basketball team?
I think each player it's really funny. It has their moments.
Best thing about living in Tallahassee?
The teammates.
What's the last movie you recently saw?
Home Alone.
Really? It's Christmas time, right? Yeah. Favorite book?
Right now, The Help.
Okay. Favorite, let's see, fast food restaurant in Tallahassee?
Panera, if it counts.
Milk chocolate or dark chocolate? This is a big one, by the way.
Both.
That's a good answer. She's Leo Rodriguez, and she's got a minute.
Welcome back, everyone, to Seminole Sports Magazine. Appreciate Randy Spettman joining us for those previous two segments. He has masterminded what is going on at Florida State and has done a wonderful job and deserves a lot of credit for that. And obviously, you can see he's very proud of what's going on at Florida State. Some other guys we're proud of is our men's and women's swimmers and divers at Florida State. They not only have aspirations for ACC championships, they want to go to the Olympics.
In a sport like swimming and diving, athletes not only work hard for their team, but also for themselves, and maybe even their country.
Just the opportunity to be able to go there and represent my country. I mean, there's nothing better than the Olympics, so it's really exciting.
The FSU swimming and diving team has 14 student athletes that have already qualified for the Olympic time trials, a feat that matches them against the best swimmers and divers in the country.
That's like the best of the best competition. Like every meet that I go to, you always see these guys, but they're always like way ahead, and I'm pretty lucky that I'm able to compete against them.
But the road to the Olympics has a few stops before London. The team has to focus on the ACC Championship and NCAAs first before going to the trials.
If you can survive the intensity of having to perform well in the prelims and perform well again at finals to try to have your team win the overall, then you're prepared for anything. The Olympic trials are the ultimate other than the Olympic Games. So, going to the Olympic trials and performing well is what it's all about.
FSU also boasts international athletes like Mateo De Angulo, who will compete for Colombia, and Michaela Lightbourne for the Bahamas.
I feel like it's an honor being able to have a pretty decent shot of representing my country in the Olympics. I mean, the goal this year, obviously after NCAA, is to try to swim some faster times to get better B cuts and try to get close to that A cut.
A B cut puts you in the running, but an A cut will guarantee you a spot on the Olympic team.
I'm like a second away right now, so I gotta drop that extra second and then hopefully I'll be there.
What makes the swimming and diving program unique is their experience. Besides swim head coach Neil Harper, who competed in the Olympics, the dive program has both head coach Patrick Jeffries and student athlete Ariel Rittenhouse, who previously competed.
Having a coach that's been there before, it helps because you've been through the process. I wasn't born an Olympian. You know how what steps you have to go through and what the level of dedication is.
It was the most amazing experience of my life. I mean, I had been working so hard for it. Competing at a high level like that was really exciting. The stands were packed and the crowd was screaming. It was the best competition ever.
For Ariel, she was born to be in the Olympics. Her mom was a silver medalist swimmer, and her uncle was a diver who performed the first ever perfect dive at the Olympics.
It's definitely helped me a lot. I've learned so much from both my mom and my uncle.
At the last Olympics, she placed 4th in the 3-meter synchro diving with partner Kelsey Bryant. Ariel provides a good example for the other divers.
And I think with having Ariel here, it's good to have somebody coming in every day and watching, because she definitely trains like a world level athlete. I think the other kids see, oh wow, that's what it takes, and I can do that.
Another distinguished diver is freshman Ford McKinley, who has already won a junior nationals. He is ready for a solid performance at the trials.
This is my chance to make the Olympics, which has been my lifelong goal kind of thing. And I'm just really excited to be able to even compete to try out. And for people to watch and my family to come and see me, yeah.
The divers are hoping for a perfect score on the boards, and the swimmers want to shave off a few milliseconds in order to win that coveted spot on the Olympic team. For Seminole Sports Magazine, I'm Alexa Lampasona.
The Morecambe Aquatic Center is an Olympic quality pool and diving platform. They're certainly taking advantage of that. Hope that helps them on their aspirations to get to the Olympics. We've talked a lot about the tremendous bowl game, Florida State and Notre Dame. The ratings were sky high for 3.6, the highest rated non-BCS bowl game of the year. And I know the Champs Bowl folks are smiling. We saw Randy Spettman smiling about that as well. Sand volleyball coming up. We mentioned that. First time we've ever played that sport. Baseball's out there practicing, softball's practicing, golf, tennis, track, all the spring sports are going. We're in the middle of the swimming and diving season. Of course, men's and women's basketball in the heat of ACC competition. You can follow all that on the television networks, on our website, Seminoles.com, and right here every week on Seminole Sports Magazine. We'll see you next week.
Seminole Sports Magazine is brought to you by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Enjoy a refreshing jump shot to the taste buds and icy cold Coke Zero. Fresh from Florida Gulf Seafood, proud sponsor of the Florida State Seminoles. And visit Tallahassee, where it all comes together beautifully.